road, shall we? Shall we? Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom? Rise and shine the light of life into your life, man. Look at this. Look at this sunshine. Look at how beautiful these trees are. We got some jackfruit here. In case you haven't seen, this is what I mean. This is like living in the jungle and reality. Nature is reality, digital is fictitious. We have to learn how to differentiate between the two. It's something that's imperative, but apparently a lot of people want to go to fantasy land and nobody wants to live in reality world. In this morning's motivation, we are going to talk about the two and the difference between them and why we tend to dive into one world and forget the other and think that it's interchangeable. And this is Saint's Addiction Morning Motivation. So your boy Saint, let me get some hammock time in. Out here in my bungalows in the jungle, getting enjoy a spliff after I swept the stairs, did some work, do some work, earn a joint. You know what I'm saying? If you put the work before the joint or the pleasure, you will have Saints addiction and you will be able to flip your world around. But that's a reality check. You know, most people, hold tight, they just want to desire things. Again, like my spiritual or my business mentor once told me, he said, um, everybody wants the everybody wants the prize, but nobody wants to pay the price. Nobody wants to show the funkiness in the background and the superficialness that we have in our heads or the judgments that we make because we believe we're entitled or we believe that people are we see things the way that we want to see them. And in that reality check, right? Yeah, there you go. Perfect. In the new reality, I'll have to call it fantasy and reality because it's virtual reality now. So it's almost reality is what they're saying. It's almost so real that they keep people on video games. It's almost so real that we'd almost rather play cosplay than actual play. It's almost so real that it's surreal, right? This is a surreal experience that life is almost exactly what you make it, and your hair will always be perfect. You'll never have any wrinkles. You never get old. And this gets down to the Buddha, right? Follow me here. The Buddha, when he was born, he was raised as a prince. He never saw people die. He never saw people get old. Everything in front of him was new and shiny. Till one day he climbed the wall and saw poverty, and he saw old people, and he saw death and starvation and real struggle. And it's like a lot of us want to live in the life of there's no struggle if I put my virtual reality glasses on. I don't have to face myself. That's why I said healing is facing the trauma. But most people don't want to face it. We want to bury it under a pile of fucking beers or lines of cocaine or whatever other fucking things we do. Saints addiction to cover up. Cover up. I was so jonesing for a joint this morning, bro. I ran out of weed. I thought I had some in my grinder, and I'm like, I'm out of weed. I had to go up to my neighbor and borrow some, like a little bit of weed with a little bit of tobacco. Your boy Saint got saved by a little sack, but literally, I was looking for that sack, bro. I was looking for it like it was a cocaine line on the carpet. I was looking for it like it was my morning coffee. If anybody else can agree, please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, comment below. But I had to be honest with myself. If I was going to build this business, I had to be able to smoke weed while doing it. I had to be honest about my addictions. What was I putting my energy into? And then I had to be asking myself about my effort. How much effort was I willing to give? Because if I kept doing the same patterns over and over again, one of these patterns are getting done. One of them is done. So it's like you get to choose. I'm done with the cocaine lines. I'm done with the drunk days. I'm done with the fucking cigarettes, except for now. Is the outlook that works? The reality and fantasy, how disconnected we're between our cognitive and our dissonance. And that's what ends up happening. We're distant from our own realities. We want to live in fantasy world where I'm out here in the bungalows and there's monkeys and there's trees and there's abs and there's skinny waist and there's tans and there's pussy and there's girls and all this other stuff, right? Guess what? This shit ain't fucking gonna work. Hold on, let me get this. I'm gonna get on this other call. My auntie's calling me. She's trying to help me out. But the truth is this is hard. Life is hard. Life, they say the struggle is real because there's a struggle in life. A lot of us want to just play on the thing all day. But as soon as oh man, I have to call her back as soon as I can. I'm on the show. Let me hold up. Let me help on this. and I need a windfall of money. I need my mom to win her court case, and that's the truth of it. You know, when you get down to the raw truth of it, there's the fake truth that you'd like to show the world, the face that you bring to the world, your ego, right? And then there's the motherfucking truth, dog. And that's where I started to live real Saints addiction shit, where you're like, oh fuck, I don't get to lie to myself no more. I don't get to run to the drugs. I don't get to pretend that things are all right when they're not all right. I don't get to hide behind my disorders. I don't get to hide behind some pills. I don't get to hide behind some psychologist. I actually have to get real with my shit and say, man, if it wasn't for my friends or my family, I would not be here right now. And it was for my friends worldwide. Even if we didn't get along, I still got to thank them. I got to thank the Benny Max from New Zealand helping me clean up my place. I got to thank Suleiman Schleiman for putting me up in what you call it, putting me up in Berlin. You know what I'm saying? And I got a shout out to Raul from Mallorca. Even though he was being a dick, he still was. He still let me in. And Aki in Finland. If it wasn't for my friends, I wouldn't have been able to make it this long. And even he was grumpy. So it's just like, they're putting up with my ass. They're lending me money. They're buying me flight tickets. They're feeding me. They're helping me get this journey going. Sure, I make a couple shirts, but most of them go for free models and my friends. And even if my friends are there, they're like, yo, no, I'm going to throw you something for it. And then I was like, I don't know what to sell it for because I've been selling them for 20 euros. And now it's like 500 bucks, like 15 bucks. So it's be a discount. He's like, 500 is a bit too much, maybe like 350. I'm like, give me what you want to give me, bro. I'm grateful. I'm just a man out here in the jungle with a dream. I'm looking at broken bungalows and broken promises and broken dreams, and that's all of us. That's all of us, bro. That's what makes me feel so connected with people. Is like, you're in a human experience too. My girl was talking about pain. I was like, I know the pain you speak of. Not trying to be uh, melodramatic, but I know the pain you speak of, and the pain makes me talk like that. You know, we all know the pain that she's speaking of. We don't even have to go into it. Our stories are for psychologists and couches, but I just made that up. But seriously, bro, seriously, our reality, to be able to question your own reality and to keep your own mentality and still go into the world as a real person, as a real human, and not some facade with a bunch of clothes on or a flashy thing or a bunch of confusion. Even, this is not just a it's not just about the people that flex with gold watches and chains and new clothes. That makes them feel rich. I'm talking about real rich. When I started to realize I create my own happiness, this is something that's not exactly in a book, bro. When you get to sit there and go, okay, but if I stop torturing myself with my negative thoughts, if I stop repeating my habits and falling into the same pit stops, if I decide, like I decided to go find weed this morning, if I decided to like do my sit-ups, oh, what a Merry Christmas it all be, bro. Like I can't believe, minus the weed, your boy is this skinny. Like I'm doing my underwear bottle to shoot right now, but damn, bro, like down 40 pounds. Eating one meal a day, one shake a day, fasting, low calories, high exercise, playing frisbee every day, being in the sun. And that's what I told my friends. I'm gonna give a fucking 1,000 frisbees away with the Saints Anarchy A on it, and give it out because now you're gonna be out of your house. You're gonna be in the sunshine. Motion creates emotion, and those are like the core elements to getting out of depression. I want solutions, man. I didn't want cover ups. I'm looking for no makeup, bro. I'm not trying to make up my life. This is really my life. That's what I say. This is my realistic life. These are my real thoughts. This is really me going on the fucking beach trying to get followers. There's really me doing my own fucking thing. I gotta do it one by one. People, mostly saints, travel by saints, saints addiction. Follow my page. Oh, did you subscribe to my YouTube? If I don't, the numbers pretty much stay the same, 1,250. But since I do, numbers gone up by 50, going up by 100. And if I do that 10 times, gone up by 1,000. I said, oh shit, if I was really aggressive, I'd just take my tablet, go up and down. If I really just want randos to just be fans, you know what I mean? I did make a sign and stand out on the Las Vegas Strip and try to get people to subscribe to my channel. I just need 10,000 subscribers. I don't need 100,000 subscribers. I don't even need a million subscribers. I just need 10,000 subscribers so I can sell my shirts under my videos. And that was the goal. And that's what happens when you get real with yourself. When you get on that journal and you write with you actually have to tell your hand to write something. In a dream world, I was with my girl and she didn't have anything in her journal. And I said, no wonder why you're not manifesting anything. No wonder why there's no solutions. Is because you haven't predicted it. You haven't asked for it yet. You haven't put it into the universe, and it's what they say, speak it into existence. And more than speak it into existence, write it into existence. Put it down, pen on paper, and tell the universe what you want from it, and what I want from this life, and what I'm willing to give. It's a lot of things that most people don't want the reality of the giving. They want the receiving. Mostly saints, most of the time, we want the perception of receiving. But the truth is that we need to be asking what we're willing to give to receive. Because there's going to be a sacrifice. There's going to be a compromise. There's going to have to be a quit. Like, I know I'm going to have to quit the tobacco and the weed. I know I'm going to have to quit my lethargicness on my sit ups. I know I am going to have to shake a leg on my income and become self sufficient. These are hard truths, hard pills to swallow, things that aren't exactly shiny. But I don't like the exterior shiny. I like the interior shiny. I like the goose that laid the golden egg that keeps providing the egg instead of just the surface level shit. And that's why I think I accelerate with people, is because I become a realist. I stop lying to myself. That gave me mental health. That's a huge reality check versus living in a fantasy world where it stops. And that's what I told my friend. I said, it wasn't necessarily the drugs, bro. It's that the fun stopped. The fun that I was chasing so hard to get cocaine money, or so hard to be at parties, or so hard to be at clubs. I'm chasing this feeling. And we all chase a feeling every morning. Case in point, let me light up. Coffee, sex, weed, you name it. First things on our minds are desires. First things on our minds are fantasy. And we do we even open our eyes into reality? Do we even open our eyes and thank the roof that's over our head? Do we even open our eyes and say, "Oh, I'm not dead"? Or do we even open our eyes and say, "Grateful for this, grateful for that"? Probably not. Probably jump up and throw coffee in your mouth. Probably jump up and throw a cigarette in your mouth. And then if you're committed to the booze, like, you lose. You just lose. You give all your energy and momentum instead of to the day and lifting off 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and lift off. Now you're in repeat. Now you're in let's this repetitive cycles. And that's why I was like, nah, man, I want it so bad. I'm willing to do anything for me to own my own business and to be free and to be able to be in different countries and be able to smoke my weed and just chill the fuck out and get my mental health. Like, there was nothing else you could cash me in for. How about that? There was no amount of gold watches. And I tell people that this little smart ass little 20-year-old something was being snarky. It was like sitting next to Daria. And every time you look over, she's staring and no smile. You're like, Daria, you there? I don't know if anybody remembers Daria from the TV. I'm probably dating myself. But Daria, Miss No Energy, smart ass remarks, goes on like, you shouldn't live in fear. I said, you're only 20. I'm 43. I finally made something of my life and I care about it. When I was 20, I didn't give too much shits about my life, and that's the truth of it. But now I know how fragile my body is. Now I know what it feels like to bend over and my back don't want to work, and I have to like shift my knees when I squatted down to play pool last night. We're like, you've been playing a lot of frisbee. And I'm like, yes, Mr. Knees, would you please keep bending for me? And once you get to that level, see my friend Spill, I think he's 52, another one's 60. These guys are falling off the motorbikes. I don't want injuries in my 50s and 60s. I'm trying to get out of like getting all these scars off of me, bro. Like, come on, man. I'm done hurting my body. I'm done breaking my toes. I'm done fucking scratching myself. I'm done living in fantasy world. I want this place to really be mine. I want my ideas to shine, and I want to be free. And whatever that requires of me, if that requires me getting up on my ass about 7, 8 a.m. after I get to bed about 1 or 2, so what? The monkeys wake me up. The monkey came in and grabbed the fucking cat litter, the cat food, and I caught it on. I could hear him, and I caught him on top of this roof, and he got shocked, and the monkey just spilled all of this whole, or his container, the whole container of cat food at me, coming down off the roof, just sprinkling cat food on me this morning. The ants are all over it. I walked over there, and the ants were like, "Oh hell no, man, nigga, get the fuck out of here! I'm gonna bite your ass." They were all over my feet, big black ants and little ants. Anyway, that had nothing to do with reality, but that is the reality. The reality of the thing is, like, things aren't perfect. Fucking monkey's coming and sneaking my buddy's spot, and he was like, he thought it was his homie coming back, and he looks over, and the monkey's like looking at him, and then slow walked out of the fucking room like a moonwalk. I was like, that's hilarious, bro. But um, real is funny. There's always something kernel of truth in a joke, and we tend to dismiss it. Again, cognitive dissonance. We kind of like keep ourselves away from the reality and the truth of things. We don't want to see the truth. No, no, no. It's far too easy to fucking put it in a closet, make that bitch dark, and not let anybody see what we really are about, what our real intentions are. When I get with this girl, I'm gonna sit her down. We got some mental health work to do. I'm gonna sit her down and go, what are your greatest fears? You know, I started thinking about my greatest fears, like that I would have a divorce and a failed family, that I would never be successful, that I wouldn't have a supportive spouse. These are real fears of mine, right? Not that, oh, she'll get fat and ugly on me, or something superficial like we won't earn enough money, or she wants to be poly. All these fucking things are so subversive to me. They're just like they're just barely the top, going balls deep. The real of it is like the abandonment issues that I have to go talk to myself about. That's my reality. My fantasy is just to keep hopping from girl to girl, girl on the beach and see a beautiful woman every day. And every morning I wake up and someone else is messaging me. That's the fantasy. Fantasy achieved. I ask myself, what do I want to do? I just want to live here forever, bro. Just live in fucking paradise and play on the beach and hit on chicks. And then all of a sudden it goes, oh, your reality is that your money is low and that you've been doing this for a year and that you're going to have to find some source of income to get this going. Isn't my first time having this thought. 15 years ago, I was sitting on that beach and I said, I'm so happy. How do I keep this going? And for the last 15 years, all I've been doing is working like a Hebrew slave, creating Joint Weed Club and my friends handing out quarter pounds and doing me proud, or throwing weed events, or starting a weed magazine, or feeding the homeless, or starting my shirt shop, or starting Prince by Saints, or working at different other print shops, or going to the conventions, at every convention and being there, even though my plates are expired in the cops shops around there. And that's where I got arrested in January, not but almost a year ago. And here my new reality. Not only was I in the reality of being in jail and being on a metal cop because my car's not registered, and being around cartel members and murderers and all sorts of fucked up people, but also in my fantasy is that I'm in a spa getting pampered on the cheap with the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, in the most beautiful setting I ever seen. It was all peaceful. So I have these extremes, the saints and these addictions, these realities and these fantasies, and we choose to live in these worlds. Just the truth of it. You know, I didn't want to live in the jail world. I sat there and I said I could be in Thailand. That one thought, I could be in Thailand right now. I don't even have to be here. Planted the seed, and now I'm in Thailand, and I'm not there. And since I'm not in that moment anymore, therefore I'm not living in the fantasy of oh, I should be somewhere else. I'm living in the reality that I am here somewhere else, that I am free, that I'm not in jail, and I let it sink in on me. I let myself talk to myself. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody might want to talk to God, you are a God. And if you talk to yourself just right, if you stop telling yourself negative things, if you look for the light and things, when I look down, I see these two yellow butterflies making out and kissing around the trees. I see the life, but sometimes I get distracted too, and I don't see the things. I don't see the missing gaps. I don't see the missing tiles. I glaze over how beautiful the trees are and the leaves. Sometimes you get in your own head, and I have to make myself every day that I walk down this path to remember to get off my phone. First of all, I never step out into the day with my phone glued. I want to observe the light. I want to step out and not be distracted looking down, walking automatically, even driving automatically, looking on my phone while I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Distracted reality. And what I want to do is absorb and keep my chin up. Keep my chin up so I see the horizon, so I see the ocean. I can see it right now, that little blue stripe right there. Very hazy, but you can see it for sure. And when you're walking down the thing, you can for sure see the ocean. But if you're looking down on your phone, you're for sure not going to see it. If you're looking down on your phone, you're for sure not going to miss that beautiful eye contact before a human being. And if you're living in fear, you're for sure going to miss the connection that you could have. And that's the reality of it. But some people don't want to get that deep on it. They don't want to think that they're going to die someday, that their beauty is going to fade, or that the pretty privilege is going to run out. We think the time is just promised, but there's no promise here, bro. The guy died the other day. That's Steve, in a car wreck. Everybody just brought it up last night. And then my friend Adam fell, and he was supposed to teach Josephine how to fucking motorbike ride, and then he had a bad spill, dislocated his shoulder. My friend's telling me this, and the next day, or if not the day after that, he got into a motorbike accident. So it's just like, first the universe whispers, then it roars. And I was like thinking of that, like, like the little warnings that I got beforehand, that I was like, oh, before it got really bad, I probably heard a bit of a whisper there. Before it got too terrible, there was something in the universe letting me know. And even before I lost my child, the universe screamed down at me that you're going to have an abortion. And I felt it very clearly. And it's unwanted and it sucks in my life. But I felt that on the Brazil beach. I'll never fucking forget. And I tried as much as I could to stop it. And I try as much as I can to stop myself. Have some self discipline, have some self control, have some mental health, bro. If I need it that bad, I got a frisbee that bad, and if I want it enough, I'll lift it enough. And if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And if that ain't some morning motivation, I don't know what else is. You have a choice to live in fantasy or reality, bro. And the fantasies look so beautiful, but they end. And just like I told my friend with the drugs, and my eyes are getting teary, but it just ends. It just ends. It's the most fun you've ever had for 4 to 6 hours. That's why we do it every weekend. But the drinks end. Even if you want to swallow them all, you can get alcohol poisoning. Even if you try to quit alcohol, it'll kill you. Even if it's hurting your finances, you'll still do it. We are so subject to our own decisions, it's not even funny. And the decision takes us in a clock of reality to fantasy. It's almost like good egg, bad egg, like in the Willy Wonka thing. Do you have a good heart or a not good heart? And they used to weigh it out on scales in Greek philosophy. I think they had a balance scale, like a Libra. Like they would weigh your heart, they would weigh your heart versus your mind, and if you lived a good life, and if you're even thinking about changing your life or being in control of your life, or wanting to live a certain type of lifestyle, right? There's going to be some cost involved, and not the fucking dollar sign credit card you just thought of. I'll talk about the cost of self discipline, right? I'm talking about me not eating calories till 3 o'clock so I can keep my abs. You know what I mean? Like, this has taken about, I don't know, 6 months. If it's been that, 6 months maybe, since Finland, when I started working out into the jungle, and then since Spain, since I started fasting. I supposed to fasted a month before it when he started telling me that. But the pain that I go through for hunger pains is minimal compared to the pain that I go through, or the joy that I get from having a slimmer waist, or my pants falling off, or me being just healthy and feeling good about myself, and my body feeling good, and my soul feeling good, and my mind feeling good. By mind, body, and soul, I'm about this life, and it's a blessed life. So I put blessings into it. I put gratitude into it. I shout out my Aunt Juanita, Auntie Cookie. I shout out my mom, always in my corner. All my stuffed in her apartment, in her extra room. I guess the cat's in there because she's been being bad, but that's just real. I really get by with a little help from my friends. My family really does love me. And I really did make this business, and people got it tattooed on their hands, and models are grateful. Oh, it was a really nice experience. The Russian girl's thanking me, and I'm like, you're so fucking shit hot, man. This can't even be my life. But if I didn't make this design, if I didn't go to Brazil and my friend didn't have the tattoo, if I didn't take it off her leg, flatten out the image, make the image in Finland, bring it with me with shirts, you wouldn't be in front of me right now. You were already born and you were already beautiful. But me and you wouldn't have anything to interact with if I didn't create these shirts. And that's exactly what my mission was, to connect with people. I figured everybody wears shirts. I could talk to anybody about shirts. I couldn't talk to anybody about Toyotas. What if they wanted a Mazda? What if they wanted a Mercedes, right? So back to reality. It is tough to want to live inside of your head if it's not working right for you. It is a tough life when you're talking negative to yourself and you're not giving yourself any positive reinforcement. It is a tough life when you don't have any morals, values, or goals. They put this stuff out here. All of these guys, spiritual mentors or self help books or what do they call them? TED Talk speakers. They put this information out there, but to live the information, applied knowledge, to actually use it and get something out of it. Instead of just, I told the girl, she's great at identifying her issues and trying to quantify it and categorize it. And we're categorical creatures, and we want to label everything and have it all nice in the fridge like that. But it's one thing to meal prep every Sunday and actually follow it through the whole week and work out. That's discipline. That's doing the work. It's not enough to do the research. You got to do the work after. My friend Kimmy is great at fucking hiking, but she does all the research before it, and she does the exercise, and she does the hikes. It's strenuous, dude. You got to put in the work. And there she said, I just want to fucking see all these sites. And what she did, she became a trail guide. Now all of a sudden she's fucking learning how to make self tourniquets and fires and ATVs and all sorts of things because she not only manifested it, but she worked her dream. You got to work your wish, man. And that's a lot of things people just do. They just sit on the wish and they don't do the work. They want the prize, but they don't want to pay the price. And unfortunately, there will be no reciprocity from the universe unless you give too. It's your money motivation, man. That's what life's about. Motivating yourself, putting yourself in decisions that put you in positions that you can thank yourself for later. That's all it's about. Be grateful to yourself for having some sort of self um, esteem and self respect and less self harm than what we've been doing. So, besides for the three motorbikes that just went by, that's my 30. Oh, I gotta give you two more extra minutes, I promise. Here, let's relight up this joint. Let's go. It's just so hard to live from reality and fantasy because fantasy is so appealing. It's got cosplay girls and their little outfits, but it's not the same as Sailor Moon. You can wear all the outfits you want, but it won't be the reality. And I could try to pretend I'm Shaq all I want, but I'm never gonna be 7 foot. And I can want bungalow systems, but it ain't gonna happen until I have the stack of cash. And I do what I can. That's the thing. If I'm still here, I'm gonna sweep the steps. The Cambodian guy was like, "Oh my God, Farang actually cleaned up his home." Yeah, bro, I'm not lazy, and I need to rip off this thing so now it makes my fucking thing look bad. My background, I gotta rip off all these panels. So that's shit I gotta do. There's things that need to get done, and they ain't gonna get done because you don't know me, son. Like my friend was saying last night from Germany, you don't know me, son. And we both said it at the same time. Shout out to David Goggins, bro. Fucking motivating men around the world, bro. You really are. You don't know me, son. You don't know the energy that I have within me. You don't know the thoughts that I have within me. You don't know the power that I contain. The thing, bring it, bitch, bro. Bring it. And the one girl was like, you little shit stirrer. And I just stood there with my hands behind me. Bring it. I'm not the one. I'm not the one to take some bullshit. I'm not the one to get disrespected. I'm not the one to fucking just let somebody treat me any old which way. And I'm not treating my life any old which way. So I'm going to be respected because I respect myself. I'm going to be determined because I already know the work I'm willing to put in. I'm going to get what I want out of this life. And some people might try to wave me, trade me, slow me down, cost me double, kill my time, steal my money, steal my energy, steal my attention. But I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission for me. This is Saint's addiction. This is what I'm after. I'm after a thing that I can create all day, every day. I'm after things that reciprocate back to me, so I get some dividends, and I'm also after endless happiness. I just made that up. Endless happiness because like I don't want the things to stop, and the drugs always stopped, and the addictions always stopped. The fun ends really quick, and the come down is horrible. So you got a choice: ride the roller coaster or fly to the moon. Really up to you. But like we actually flew to the moon. That's reality. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The fantasy is this roller coaster that with ups and downs and smiles and frowns and goods and bads and reds and blacks when it's all part of it. It's all part of it, man. We all got tough lives. We all got lives to live. We all got it. We all need to have some kind of ambition and some kind of drive. and motivation to get what we want out of this life. Peace, love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side. As soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.